Annoyed by that Terminid coalition of stalkers and hunters making your life miserable and your dives unplayable? Today's loadout, dubbed the Hunter Killer, is an experimental but effective set of tools that I suggest you try out in your future Terminid missions. On screen now and for the duration of this video will be the exact weapons and stratagems that I like using for the Terminid missions that specifically involve killing eggs, escorting civilians, and anything else that isn't a small defense mission or destroying bug holes. This loadout also gives the Plasma Punisher shotgun a great opportunity to be used in an effective way. My initial design for this loadout started from my desire to find a way to build around the plasma shotgun and make it a viable weapon. The Plasma Punisher shotgun is from the Cutting Edge Warbond, the latest release. The loadout also includes the machine pistol and stun grenades. For armored type, I prefer the medium servo armor from the first premium Warbond because I love the throwing arm buff for stratagems and nades. I put together this spreadsheet that you can find as a link down in the description below if you want to peruse it and look at my thoughts on each of the important items of this loadout. Anything marked with a star is something that I consider nearly essential for this loadout, although you could still change even these items. Starting with the Plasma Punisher, I think this is a very good gun for doing splash damage. It destroys spewers in around 3 hits to the head, does a lot of damage to chargers, and of course will obliterate patrols as long as you pair it with the EMS Mortar and your stun grenades, which, speaking of stun grenades, is what I'll mention next. They're very good for stunning all unit types briefly, allowing for your stratagems to be placed or for you to run away. Another really important combo is when you toss down an Eagle 500K, you can actually stun a Bile Titan once it's directly above the laser, ensuring that it'll stop in place and allow the blast cone of the Eagle 500 to potentially one-shot the Bile Titan. Against automatons, the stun grenade is also pretty damn good. Right here, I used a couple stun grenades to stop a hole completely in its tracks, keeping it from being able to turn towards me as I flanked behind it and shot it with a recoilless rifle directly in the vents to kill it. In terms of stratagems, I think that the most important of this kit is the EMS Mortar, which is a very underrated stratagem in my opinion. It does massive area of effect stuns, and of course the most important part is that it's great in slowing and halting multiple enemy patrols and bug breaches. In terms of the Eagle 500K, this is pretty much just like, you're going to be seeing everybody past level 15 running this because you get 2 uses and it's very all-purpose. It vaporizes basically all enemy types, it destroys elites, it destroys bug holes, destroys buildings. It's amazing, and the cooldown time is pretty reasonable. Actually, you know what, most of you probably already believe me on the Eagle, but for those of you that are new or non-believers, let me just show you how good it really is.
I got a bug breach on me. I'm just gonna call another 500. There are so many bugs here!
Holy fuck!
Oh, I just got 32!
The Orbital Railcannon is not essential for this loadout, but it is one of my favorite stratagems to use because it takes out chargers so goddamn easily. It one-shots them, and it will not kill the player no matter how close they are to the charger, and you can take them by surprise, killing them before they can even react. Swap this one out if you want to try something else. So now I'm going to get into some anti-tank options. You have the recoilless rifle, the spear, and the expendable anti-tank launcher. I prefer the expendable anti-tank launcher just because it has 2 uses. It's quick, it's easy to use, it can one-shot a charger to the head, and then it refreshes within around a minute or a minute and a half, so you can call down a ton for yourself or your team. The spear was actually pretty fun to use, but it is pretty finicky, and I don't think I would recommend it as it is now. The problem with the spear is that it has to have a clear lock-on, and it can overshoot targets. If you have a big bug swarm, even if the Bile Titan's right in front of you, oftentimes it just will not lock on, which is extremely frustrating. The good thing about it though is at medium ranges, when you lock on, it will fire the projectile and curve into your target. It also breaks Bile Titan and charger armor with one shot and can one-shot a charger in the head. With the recoilless rifle, it's basically like the spear, requiring a backpack, has low ammo, but it is able to fire without being locked on, which could be beneficial. Now, why do I call this the Hunter Killer? As we know, hunters are notorious for jumping in close, swarming you, and doing a lot of rapid damage. This loadout means that there's a lot less chance of hunters swarming and killing you when played correctly. The combination of the EMS Mortar and stun grenade ensures that entire enemy bug breaches and patrols cannot catch up to you while you're moving between points of interest. This loadout and this playstyle isn't something set in stone. Play around with the combinations of weapons and stratagems. See how well the EMS Mortar and stun grenade help you to achieve your goals. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below on this loadout, this playstyle, and any changes you might make. As the developers are constantly changing the game and adding new tools, this might get outdated pretty quickly. I think the heart of it is still there, especially with the mortar and the stun grenades, but I am excited to see what the devs introduce in the future. As always, have a good one.